Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of This Is My Brave Stories from Home, our cast interviews. I am joined today by Nicole Smith, who is a cast member of our This Is My Brave Hampton Roads. And she's here just to tell us a little bit about herself and why she's excited to be a part of This Is My Brave. So Nicole, just very quickly, tell us a little bit about, how about just some basic bio info about you.
All right. Well, thank you, Erin. And definitely just thank you to the This Is My Brave organization just for allowing this opportunity. It's just amazing to be a part of it. So thank you very much. And that. Um, so about me, my husband and I were a military family. I actually recently retired back in December from 20 years of active duty service in the Coast Guard, which is actually where I met my husband. And we've been married now for 13 years. And we have three amazing boys who keep us, wild and active. And we're currently stationed in the Hampton Roads area. My husband, again, he's still active. So we're still, doing the military lifestyle. And so we're riding that out for a little while.
Neat. Okay. So what brought you, how'd you hear about This Is My Brave?
Actually, so I heard about This Is My Brave through our show producer, Lauren Hope. I was introduced to her through some just acquaintances and things like that as I was kind of just getting my footing here in this area. Um, Mental health is a really important part of my story, and also, it's just a huge part of my advocacy and things like that. And so she just kind of kept coming up in conversations, and we finally met and hit it off, and just the timing was just perfect. And she told me about the show. Luckily, This Is My Brave liked my audition, so here we are.
So what is the condition that your piece will address?
So I actually talk about a few different ones, but the major ones that I discuss are anxiety, PTSD, and then I've also been diagnosed with major depressive disorder. So, but the big ones that kind of come up in theme are the anxiety and the PTSD.
And what kind of piece are you going to be doing for the show?
So I did a written piece, so it's more just the storytelling, the sharing of my story, and really just kind of having that relate to the audience. I found and I think that this is what's so perfect about it, and that This Is My Brave, and the T-shirts, is that storytelling saves lives, and that was it couldn't have been like a more perfect tagline for me and my story, is that it was, somebody recognizing my own pain, and sharing their story, and just being able to realize in that all the while of me going through my struggles and thinking that I was alone, that I really wasn't. And that it was, once I started sharing my story, the more and more I realized other people had stories too. And I really found comfort and community in that. And so that's why I kind of just chose to keep with that theme of just sharing my story.
So you had somebody in your life that recognized or identified maybe intuitively a struggle that they saw in you, and they decided to tell you their story to help you. Is that what you just said? I'm just trying to understand clearly.
Yeah. So I don't want to give too much because there's a piece of like the actual shift in what I'll be sharing in my piece.
Yeah.
But once that defining moment took place and I
Okay.
actually started to seek help, it
Yeah.
was that person that I received the help from, um, ironically started sharing her story with me as I started opening up. And
Okay.
it was in that I felt even more comfortable opening up, and began sharing things that I had never shared with anybody else because of the fact that they had been there and they had
Okay.
shared those struggles.
So that's part of the story that you're going to tell on our stage is is
Absolutely.
that just the more the details of that
Just a
and
little bit
how?
more of the behind the scenes kind of
Right.
pieces of
Well,
it.
what a teaser that is. If
Exactly.
that's fantastic. So, when you do tell that story, which won't unfortunately, of course, be on our stage
No.
because COVID-19 has
COVID.
kind of thrown a wrench in that plan. Well, so tell me about that. I mean, you definitely came out for the show. I think it was probably late January, right?
Right. We started doing the auditions January, February. Yeah, no, actually January, because we were doing our first like cast meeting in February with our show supposedly was planned for April.
Yeah.
But yeah, COVID just kind of hit the damper right in the middle of that. And we were hoping to kind of progress. And I mean, we kind of knew it. I think we all felt it, unfortunately, with just the way that things are transpiring. And, Virginia is still a hot spot. So it makes sense. And, I have to say that I absolutely just respect and am grateful for This Is My Brave recognizing that and not wanting to endanger the cast members nor the staff or any of um, our viewers. So I think that that was a smart move. But,
Yeah.
I think that I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason, and there may just be a different or a bigger audience that's going to be impacted by being able to watch it virtually that wouldn't have been able to come and actually put, a butt in a seat type thing. So
Yeah, that's true. I think you're right. And I think now more than ever, people need to have inspiring stories. And,
exactly.
Lauren has told, she speaks so highly of your entire cast, and she's so excited to get your stories out there. And while we would love to have that done on a stage with a spotlight and an audience, and all of that, we'd rather see your stories get out there even in this new format, the stories from home format, than not
Right.
share. Now more than ever, people I think need the hope. So I'm really excited to hear your story. I don't really know much about it. Obviously, I almost gave it away, or almost encouraged you to give it away. So now I'm really intrigued. And if anybody watching this is also intrigued to see Nicole and hear more about her story, you can join us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, and that will take place. The Hampton Roads show will take place on the 25th of October. And we'll have some registration opening up, so we can get you a link to, well, I guess actually if it's on live, there won't be a link, but we would love to have you register so we can send you more information about the cast members, about Nicole and everybody else in her cast. So watch for that information on thisismybrave.org. And Nicole, it was really nice talking to you today, and we're so excited to hear your story. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the 25th.
It's my pleasure. I look forward to it.
All right, see you. Bye.
Bye.